Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Air Jordan 34. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Air Jordan 34 features a pretty much full herringbone traction pattern, which is really awesome because the traction on the shoe is amazing. I wouldn't say at first that the bite is incredibly hard, but once you break it in just a little bit, you guys are gonna have amazing traction. On clean courts, you guys are gonna have no problems whatsoever. And even on dustier courts, I didn't really have problems either. Sometimes some dust would get stuck, but a very, very light wipe and you guys are good to go. Like I said, traction on the shoe was actually really nice. In my opinion, you know, over the past like 3 to 4 years, I'd say that this is the best traction on a Jordan model. And yeah, you know, it's really nice. I really enjoyed the traction on the shoe. So moving on to the cushion, the Jordan 34 features 2 zoom units, one up in the forefoot and one in the heel. The heel features a hex zoom unit, and personally, I couldn't really feel it that much, but the awesome part of the cushion setup is obviously going to be the forefoot zoom unit. It's a giant, just huge forefoot zoom unit, and it's an unlocked zoom unit as well, and it is bouncy, it's responsive. I would say because of like how, you know, thick this zoom unit is, you don't get the best port feel, but personally, you know, I'm totally okay with that because the zoom unit in the forefoot is just that nice. I don't know how to explain how nice it is. You guys are just gonna have to try out a pair of these because the zoom unit is just very bouncy, feels awesome. Just everything you want in a zoom unit, this got it. Overall, cushion was awesome in the Jordan 34. So moving on to the materials, which in my opinion is the least impressive part of the shoe. It's just a full mesh upper, and I would definitely say it's not the most premium feeling mesh as well. And it is very thin in some areas of the shoe, but you know, that could go either way. Like, you know, materials wise, some people might like that, some people might not like that. Even though the materials are very thin in some areas of the shoe, it doesn't compromise anything. If anything, you know, it just makes the shoe nice and light and very breathable. So for those of you that do like, you know, your premium leathers and whatnot, this is definitely not that type of shoe. But if you guys like that very light mesh that, you know, keeps you contained but also feels very nice on foot, this thing has got you covered. To the touch, you know, it doesn't feel great, but on foot, it does the job perfectly fine. So I'm not gonna knock the materials too bad, but like I said, the materials are probably the, I guess, the letdown of the Jordan 34. So moving on to the fit, I'd say the Jordan 34 runs true to size. If you guys are slightly wide footers to hella wide footers, I still think going true to size is perfectly fine. I personally didn't have any problems, and I am a slightly wide footer. Other than that, I do think that the overall fit of the Jordan 34 is pretty good. It does have some like very nice sculpting in the heel just to make you, you know, nice and comfortable. But there is one thing about the fit, and that there is actually some dead space up in the toe box area, and it gets more noticeable if you like to, you know, crank down your laces like I personally do. So that is just one thing to note. The dead space isn't like noticeable or anything. I would say that the dead space isn't too noticeable, but if you do like to crank down your laces, you will see like a little bubble pop up in the toe box area. Other than that, you know, I thought the fit was just fine. So overall, I'd say the fit in the shoe is pretty good. So moving on to the support, I thought the support in the Jordan 34 was really awesome. I didn't have any heel slippage. I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed. No like lateral instability, no linear instability. This thing has got you covered on all grounds. Although this shoe doesn't really have a lateral outrigger, the base is pretty wide, so that's why you don't feel any like instability on lateral movements, which is awesome. And as far as torsional rigidity goes, you know, you do have like this Eclipse plate, which is like one of the main features of the Jordan 34. And inside is this really hard plastic, even though it's hollowed out. So yeah, you know, that's gonna keep you nice and rigid. So you guys aren't gonna have any problems in the support area. One thing to note, I'm not really sure if this should go in like support or fit, but the lacing on here is a little bit annoying at times. So like I said earlier, you know, I do like to crank down my laces, and honestly, tying your laces can be pretty hard if you really want to crank them down, because when you pull your laces up to a point and then, you know, you pull the next set up, the laces actually come loose a little bit, so it is just a little bit irritating to lace them up really tightly. That's just one gripe I had with the shoe. So the Jordan 34 retails for $180 or $185, And you know, that is definitely a very, very steep price point. But is this shoe worth it? In my opinion, yes. I think this is the best performing Jordan model in the past few years, at least that I've played in. And yeah, it's a really freaking awesome shoe to play in. It's super fun, has everything that I want and nothing that I don't. It feels very light. It just, you know, it's an awesome shoe to play in. And like, you know, I mentioned before, that 4-foot zoom unit is just too awesome. Like, it's really, really enjoyable to play in. This shoe can be used by guards or the bigger guys. It really doesn't matter. If you guys like, you know, extreme responsive court feel, that type of shoe, then maybe this isn't for you, because like I said, you know, the zoom unit in the 4-foot is a little bit thick, so you guys are going to lose out on a little court feel. But in my opinion, I think it's worth the trade-off. And I definitely think that if you all pick up a pair of these, you won't be disappointed. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. While you guys are at it, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.